Just Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. Clouds and showers, maybe a thunderstorm today near 60. The southeast wind becoming southwest 10 to 15. Mostly cloudy tonight, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Partly to mostly cloudy in the low to mid 40s New Year's Day. And Wednesday, another chance of more rain, mostly cloudy skies, 35 to 40. Jonesboro at your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Russia's intelligence service, the FSB, has arrested a US citizen on suspicion of being a spy. Donald Trump says the US will be slowly bringing troops home from Syria. Security forces are on high alert in France ahead of the countdown to New Year celebrations. And UK Home Secretary Sajid Javid is chairing talks in London over the growing number of migrants heading across the English Channel from France in small boats.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday to you. It is New Year's Eve. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I just want to say happy Kwanzaa to everyone. Today is day 6 of Kwanzaa. Since we didn't have a show yesterday, I'm going to incorporate 2 principles in today. And so if you would like to follow along, you can go to living4bliss.wordpress.com, and if you type in the search, you can type in the search bar the name of the principle or Kwanzaa, and it'll pull up a list and you select the one you want. So we're going to get started with our first principle, which was day 5 principle, and it is Nia, which means purpose. I hope that everyone had a great weekend, and I want to first start out by saying thank you to every single person that participated in any shape, form, or fashion in the Kwanzaa Fellowship Luncheon. It was absolutely wonderful. I hate if you missed it. We had a really great time, great food, and great fellowship. So thank you to everyone that was able to come out and whatever role you played. Thank you so very much. And for the donations, and we'll make an announcement at a later time of what organization we're donating the socks, underwear, and t-shirts to. We'll make sure to let you know that as well. All right, so getting right into our purpose of the first purpose, the first principle, Nia, which means purpose. The principle of Nia, purpose. We all have a purpose in life. Finding it takes patience and developing it takes work. But living our lives to fulfill our purposes makes us better individuals and build stronger communities. We all have a role to play in our community, and all throughout the week of Kwanzaa, we have been talking about the various principles, unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics. All those things come together to perform specific roles within a community, and purpose goes right along with that. It goes right along definitely with self-determination. Once you figure out who you are and then you figure out what your role is, you better know how you fit in a community and what role you play based on your strengths. So everyone has a purpose. Don't think you are just here on this earth with nothing to do. You all have a purpose. Hopefully you get to tap into it sooner than later, and you figure out where you fit in a community and can start helping to build the community, and especially build it up for the future generations. We want to make sure that we leave a lasting legacy for those that are coming behind us. We want to pull from the wisdom and knowledge of our elders and then pass that on for generations to come. We want to make sure that our community continue to thrive and be prosperous, even when we're no longer able to be a contributing factor to its progress. All right. Poverty is not your purpose. Ignorance is not your purpose. Despair is not your purpose. We understand that, not everyone is going to be multimillionaires. Not everyone is going to have those, fat bank accounts. However, if you do find yourself in a state of poverty, try to find ways or find resources to help yourself rise above. There are some situations you just cannot control, and that's understandable. However, don't allow yourself to be so bogged down mentally, spiritually by your current situation, no matter where you are, that you don't seek to rise above that. Don't let your current be your permanent. And it says, ignorance is not your purpose. We all have the capacity to learn. And so let's each one of us take the opportunity to read a book, read a website, learn from someone else, learn what you don't know, find a way to get that knowledge by any means necessary. Don't allow life to just happen to you and pass you by. Find your purpose. Do not be ignorant of what's going on around you. Okay? And despair is not your purpose. We all go through hard times. We all face difficult situations, and we sometimes don't see a way out. However, that's not your purpose. That's not your permanent. And don't let it be. Don't let that sink into your mind and take control of your thought process. All right. With no purpose, you have no direction, no real future. You have no control over your life and no joy. It's almost like walking around blind and you're just kind of feeling your way through life. And if you don't find where you fit, and sometimes people think their purpose has to be so big and grand and just elaborate. It doesn't. Your purpose could simply be to be an inspiration to someone. Okay, depending on where you work, what industry you work in, just having a simple conversation with someone, sharing your life experiences with them. You never know who you may touch by your testimony. So consider being open, a little bit more open with who you are and what you've been through in life. You never know who you may touch. That may be your purpose. Just a share a kind word. You never know who may need that on that day. So share yourself with others as much as possible, because you never know what your purpose is. Your purpose will not always be revealed in bright light. It may not be revealed in the way that we think it is. Our purpose comes in ways that are totally unexpected. But when you find it, or when it finds you, you'll know exactly what it is. You'll know that's it. All right. If you have no purpose for your life, create one. Find a passion and pursue with all your heart. So if you feel like you don't know your purpose, start tapping into those things that you are good at. Me personally, I love to write, and there are quite a few people so they like what I write. So find something that you're good at. Find something that you like to do, you think you might have an interest in, and go with it. And your purpose will eventually develop itself through your interest and your hobbies. So don't feel like you have nothing to contribute, nothing at all to give. You do. You have a purpose. But again, if you don't have a purpose, and you don't find one, you're not seeking one, it's like you're just going through life blind. You have no direction. You're just going whichever way the wind blows, and you don't set yourself up for a real future. So just try to find your purpose. Alrighty? Make today the day you find one. Make today the first day that you live and the last day that you merely exist. I can definitely speak on this. There have been times in my life when I was just going through the motions of life, doing my daily routines out of repetition, and I wasn't getting much out of what I was doing, and I didn't interact very much with a lot of people. So I felt like I didn't have a purpose. I just kind of just going with the flow, and that eventually weighs on your spirit. It can be tiresome spiritually, emotionally, and it wasn't until I allowed myself to allow God to, how can I say, knock me down, is the best way I can put it, that I realized, okay, I have more to contribute to this world. Just because of what I'm dealing with at the current moment in my life doesn't mean I have to let it control me and take over my mindset and my spirit. So it's not easy always. It's not. Anyone that has gone through various trials, tribulations, hardships in their life, they can tell you it's not easy to overcome, but it's worth it once you allow yourself to get up, dust off, and keep it moving. All right. Needs are all around. So are your abilities. Purpose is merely opening your eyes and seeing. Start looking around you. What can you do to make your world a better place? What talents have you been given? How can you bless others? And again, that goes back into your purpose. There may be something you're good at. There may be something you love to do. Maybe you're not the best at it, but you love to do it. But I guarantee if you get into it and tap into it and you practice it, engage in that activity more and more, you will get better at it, and you'll never know who you will meet along the way. And your purpose again will slowly and more clearly be revealed to you. All right. To have purpose is to have hope, a reason to wake up each morning, a positive outlook, and a great attitude, a direction in which to learn. So if you have something to look for, if you have something you're seeking, you have a reason to get up in the morning. You're like, okay, what's on the agenda for today? What can I do today that I didn't do yesterday? What can I do differently today? How can I make today better than yesterday? And then also, while you're trying to find your purpose along the way, try to help someone else find their purpose as well. Try to encourage and uplift every other person you meet within your community, and then especially for the younger generation, try to uplift and encourage them as well. All right. The question is not if you have a purpose. We all do. The question becomes, what is your purpose and what are you doing to fulfill it? Again, we may not always know what our purpose is, but we all have one. So it's not if, but it's you do, but what is it? Again, take some time daily to tap into your likes, your interests, your hobbies. Take some time, if you are a spiritual person, spend some time with God and ask God to help reveal your purpose. And I guarantee the thing you find yourself thinking about more, the direction you find yourself going in, that is leading you to your purpose. All right, so resolutions for Nia. I will continue to strengthen my community through education and enlightenment. I will continue to show others how to fulfill their own purpose in life and to seize opportunities that are presented to them. I will continue to strengthen my effectiveness by growing a little each day and taking advantage of the opportunities around me. So again, I just want to encourage everyone to please take some time and think about, what is my purpose? And if you don't have a clear answer like right away, it's okay. But I want you to please take some time to seek out what your purpose could be. Think about those things that you do often, or that you love to do, or you do well. And think about, what are those things that keep you up at night, that you find yourself thinking about, find yourself trying to plan events around, trying to share with others. That can be your purpose. You don't have to have some grand purpose. It could simply be meeting someone new, sharing a kind word, sharing a smile, being an encouragement to someone else. You never know how your interaction with someone on a particular day may affect them. They may be at their lowest point in their life, and they may be contemplating suicide or something of that nature, and just an interaction with you could turn their whole world around. So never doubt that you have something to offer to the next person. All right, I want to thank everyone for checking in this morning. Good morning to Ms. Pam Lewis and Dr. Sharice Jones Branch. If anyone has any comments, please drop them on our Facebook live feed. Also, if you would like to give us a call, the phone lines are open, 870-277-1080. So I'm going to move on to the next Kwanzaa principle, and this one is Kuumba, which means creativity, which is on day 6. All right, the principle of Kuumba, creativity. It takes more creativity than money to succeed. Through all adversity, creativity has been an underlying theme in African American survival. It is an American way of life, and I'm sure many of our elders can share stories of how they had to be creative and keeping the family together, making ends meet, and things of that nature. All that ties into creativity, finding ways to make the community better for all of those involved, the family, the community. Many of our ancestors and our grandparents and parents, went to church, and they relied on their spiritual guidance to tap into their creativity as well. So find a way that you can be creative, and if you feel yourself in survival mode at the moment, find a way to be creative to overcome whatever you're dealing with. All right. Creativity entertains us. Creativity sustains us. Creativity makes us grow. Creativity gives us joy. Creativity solves problems. I remember having a conversation concerning creativity solves problems. A lot of our younger people, and this is not to pick on them, and it's not always all their fault. They don't possess the skills to be critical thinkers, problem solvers, partially because they're not taught adequately how to solve certain issues that come up in their life. And so we, as the elders of the community that have the knowledge, we need to pass it on to them, teach them how to be problem solvers, find creative solutions around whatever they're facing at that moment. Creativity entertains us. We all know that we love entertainment, music especially, being creative, finding creative ways to use various items as instruments has always been in our legacy. So again, that's how creativity entertains us. There are other ways. If you can think of more ways, I would love to hear from you. Creativity sustains us. Oftentimes we have gotten through difficult times by being creative and finding ways to navigate that problem and deal with that issue, whatever we're facing at that moment. All right? When adversity rears its ugly head, counter it with creativity. Creativity will always win. All right? And here are some resolutions for creativity. I will continue to look at solutions, not problems. I will continue to be the source of solutions and expect to overcome adversity with creativity. I will continue to sing and dance and celebrate life. I will continue to use my creative energy to improve my life and the lives of others. I will support the creative endeavors from others in my community, especially those of the children. Now that is very important. We need to encourage creativity with our children. We need to plant the seeds early enough so that as they navigate life, they will be able to problem solve effectively. We need to teach them about our music, our heritage, our art, our literature, and everything in between, so they can continue to pass it on for generations and generations, and it won't die out. I will continue to use my creativity to improve my life and the lives of others. A big part of Kwanzaa the principles of Kwanzaa, again, focus on community and family. We all have a job to do individually, but we all have a job to do collectively. So if we use our skills, our talents, our gifts, and be creative in how we use them, we can help every single person within our community thrive and be prosperous and be spiritually, emotionally happy, healthy, and whole. Right? I will continue to sing and dance and celebrate life. Everyone expresses their creativity in different ways. Find yours. Find a way that you can express your creativity. I will continue to be the source of solutions and expect to overcome adversity with creativity. Again, it goes back to that problem solving. So find ways that you can be creative and add to the value of your community in which you live. We all have a role to play. Again, it goes back to purpose and creativity. All these different principles tie in together. I'm going to do a quick recap of all of the principles. The principles are called Nguzo Saba, which is Swahili, and there are 7 principles. They are lost my train of thought real quick. All right, they're unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and tomorrow, which is January 1st, that wraps up the Kwanzaa celebration, and it is faith, which is Imani. And along with Kwanzaa, there are many different practices. There are practices that go along with the celebration of Kwanzaa, and there are different symbols or items, I guess you say, that go along with Kwanzaa. I really encourage everyone to please do some research. Let's start making this a family affair. Let's start making this something that we put into practice year round. Let's put these principles into practice all year round. and make it a family affair, make it a community affair. Let's start building each other up along with ourselves. We want to make sure that we leave a lasting legacy for the generations to come. They are our future. There was, in case you missed it on Saturday, we had a few speakers that spoke on. Dr. Lonnie Williams spoke. Well, he read a letter, and it was called A Letter from an Elder, and it was very inspirational. And I thank him for sharing his words of wisdom. Dr. Lonnie Williams he lives in Jonesboro now, but he's attended college in other places, and so he shared some of the things he's learned along the way throughout his education, throughout his life. And other people that spoke were basically telling the elders what they want to learn, what they need to learn in order to continue to be successful and prosperous in their life. I really enjoyed every single speaker. I thank you all for coming out and for sharing. And we don't want to make this just a one-time event. Even though Kwanzaa is one time a year, I want to still encourage everyone to please put into practice all of these different principles throughout your life, share with your family, and share with your community. Right? So we're going to get ready to take a break, and today is going to be an abbreviated show. Unfortunately, life happens, and my guests were not able to make it today, so I hope that all is well with them wherever they are. And I thank each and every one of you for supporting KLK, for supporting me, supporting Community Conversations. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. Tomorrow is New Year's Day, and we'll be back with a wrap up of Kwanzaa. Community Conversations on KLK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations.